Hi, good morning. Good morning. I have a couple of announcements to start with. The first announcement is for the members of the senior class. Senior speech time is coming up soon. We'll begin senior speeches after the spring break. And these are always the most popular chapels of the year, the time when seniors, you all get to share your experience and your thoughts about your experience here at Brooks. I will be sending out an email in the next few days inviting you to put yourself on the schedule to make a senior speech. So please be giving that some thought. The second announcement is, I don't know how many of you know this. I think some of you do, but I'm not sure how many. This is going to be my last semester at Brooks. I'm sorry to say that. It's hard for me to leave, but I'm 82 years old, and there are a few things I need to do before I turn my toes up. So this will be my last semester with you. I have loved being with you. I still love being with you. But we have a pretty full chapel schedule for the rest of the year. So this may turn out to be my last word, my senior speech. So the first reading that we did this morning is the Brooks mission statement. At Brooks School, we seek to provide the most meaningful educational experience our students will have in their lives. So in my 8 years here, I've thought a lot about that mission statement. And I've thought, what makes an experience meaningful? What makes an experience special? I've asked myself that question a lot, and I want to find out the answer. So we're in the digital age now, so what do we do when we want to find an answer? We Google it, right? We Google it. So that's what I did. I Googled meaningful experience. Well, as you can imagine, Google coughed up hundreds of links, a ton of links, including a link to Goodreads. And on Goodreads, I found 50 or more pages of quotes from people of great authority telling me about the meaning of life, what it is, how to find it, and in some cases telling me that there's no such thing as meaning. So I want to share some of what I found when I Googled meaningful experience. And I want to share 3 quotes that tell us, I want to share the first 3 quotes I found, which tell us that life doesn't actually have any meaning. So here's the first quote, and this is from Fred Hoyle. Fred Hoyle is a famous British astronomer, no longer living, but he's the guy who coined the term Big Bang. You all know the Big Bang Theory, right? Fred Hoyle didn't believe in the Big Bang Theory, but he coined the term. And this is what he said. Religion is but a desperate attempt to find an escape from the truly dreadful situation in which we find ourselves. Here we are in this wholly fantastic universe with scarcely a clue as to whether our existence has any real significance. In other words, he's saying, is there any meaning? I don't know. Next slide. And this is a quote from Jean-Paul Sartre, the French existentialist philosopher. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of him. Okay. In my time, 65 years ago when I was in college, Jean-Paul Sartre was a big name. Everybody knew about him and thought he was really important. And I think he's not quite such a big name today. But here's what Sartre never used one word when 100 would do. He had a lifelong case of verbal diarrhea. So I had to shorten what he said, but this is the essence of Sartre's thinking. Life has no meaning any more than the meaning that we give it. Man cannot be defined because man is nothing. And the third quote I found was from Yuval Noah Harari. He's a contemporary Israeli professor and social historian, and he's the author of *Sapiens: A Brief History of Mankind*, which has been a very popular and successful book. And what he has to say is, as far as we can tell, human life has absolutely no meaning. Humans are the outcome of blind evolutionary processes that operate without goal or purpose. So these are just 3 of hundreds of quotes I found on the web that told me that human life has no meaning. And at first, I just felt really, really sad that these 3 guys and so many others, these poor people, couldn't find any meaning, any purpose, any joy in being alive. And then, somewhat unexpectedly, first I felt sadness, and then I felt anger. I felt rage. I felt absolute fury. Just fury that these people can be so damn arrogant, so full of themselves, so full of, and I can't say the word in chapel what they're full of, but it begins with SH. They're so blind, so ignorant, because it seems to me that they've spent their whole lives fiddling with ideas in their heads, and they've never taken a single moment to look into their hearts and see what's there. They've never taken the chance to find out what the heart knows, because what the heart knows is love. I'm convinced that deep down and I've said this before, you've heard it before, deep down in the deepest level of our hearts, we all know love. And when we get to that deepest level, there's a love that's so enormous, so powerful, so vast. It's the power, it's the energy that creates the universe. It's the great I am of all creation. And if we just take the risk to seek it, we can find this huge, enormous love. Or to say it more accurately, we can be found by it. And we can come to share in that love and to be transformed by it, to be filled by it, to be made whole, complete, filled with joy and strength and love and light, filled with the light of the great I am, the one we sometimes call God. It's not easy to do. As we grow up in this difficult, broken world, we learn to shield our hearts. We learn to protect ourselves from being hurt. And then, once we reach adulthood, if we want to find that deep love, we have to become vulnerable. We have to let go of all our self-protections. We have to let go of our hesitancies and our doubts and our fears. We have to surrender. We have to surrender and let love have control. We have to take that risk. And it's hard to do. But if we do take that risk, when we let love have its way, when we let love be in charge of our life, it has the power to change us, to transform us, to make our lives new. And for me, this love is that's what the most meaningful experience is. It's the real meaning of life. And when we find it, we don't just understand it intellectually with our brains. When we find it, that love, that meaning of life becomes part and parcel of who we are. And this has been the message from the great teachers of humanity for thousands of years in every human culture. It's the message we heard this in the other readings this morning from St. Paul, a Christian message, from Al-Ghazali, a Muslim message, from Rajinder Singh, a Hindu message. It's the message that's at the core of all religious experience and knowledge, that love is the meaning and purpose of human existence. But a lot of times, the brilliant, brainy people, the Fred Hoyles and the Jean-Paul Sartres, they don't want to hear this. They're too wrapped up being geniuses to pay attention to the love that wants to surface in their own hearts. And so very often, it's not the brilliant, brainy, privileged people who find the truth about love. Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor, because theirs is the kingdom of heaven." The great religious teachers have all told us over and over again that God favors ordinary people, the poor, the oppressed, the marginalized, because they're more open to finding the love that's deep in their hearts. So I want to share one more quote I found on Goodreads. And this is a quote from somebody, I don't know who it is, but somebody who has been able to listen to their own heart and hear the voice of love. Love is the answer to everything. Yet this answer cannot be understood by thought or words alone. It must be felt and lived. One may describe love, speak of it, hear it, and imagine it, but true comprehension lies only in the experience of it. This unconditional feeling is what the world longs for, the cure to its divisions. Love gives life, joy, peace, meaning, and harmony. This quote is from someone named Jaden. I don't know who this Jaden is. Is Jaden here this morning? There's no information on the website about who Jaden is. Jaden's not famous, not on Wikipedia. But here's the important thing. This Jaden is someone who knows what love is about. Someone who has found the deep truth of love. Someone who has encountered the most meaningful experience that life offers us. So my hope, my prayer, is that the moment will come for each and every one of us here, the moment when we're able to risk opening our hearts and let the full power and wonder and light of sacred love flow through us. And then we can all say that finding that infinite love is our most meaningful experience. So that's my senior talk for today. God bless you. I love you all.